Dearly beloved, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Respected Vijuanacha, your associate here, your vicar, dear council members, chevaliers, committee members, all of you, dearly beloved in Christ. It is such a good and wonderful and blessed feeling to be in the house of one's friends. I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and also from the hearts of those who attend our St. Thomas Malankara Orthodox Church in Austin, Texas, for welcoming us this beautiful Sunday morning. Your generosity, your love for us, how you remembered how we've sojourned together as we've tried to work together with respect to the youth ministry. Everything that you do in this region and in this archdiocese is well noted. You're very, very famous for your hospitality and generosity. And again, thank you so much for welcoming us today. I am accompanied by several members of our parish in Austin. I see a few of them standing there outside. So I do ask you to welcome them and to greet them and get to know them. We have come with a specific purpose in mind, and I will share that with you here shortly after the message. Dear friends, we are reading today in the Gospel about something that could have been actually ripped from the headlines of the newspapers. When you think about the church, right? I'm talking about the church, the big C church, holy, apostolic, Catholic, right? Which means universal. What is the first thing that comes into your mind? What is the first thing that comes into your mind? Any of the kids? Yes? Nothing comes to mind. Is that it? What comes to mind when you think of the term church? Yes? Boring? Here is a person in whom is no guile, right? It's Nathaniel, right? Is that your name, maybe? Nathaniel? No. Yes, some other answer? Huh? Cross, okay? Money? You're showing me someone this time. Huh? Yes? Praying, okay, good. What else? Yes? Take some time. Yeah, that's okay though, right? Jesus took a long time for us, right? That's okay. Yes? Nobody gets to sit down? Okay, these are good answers. I wasn't expecting this level of listening. Again, when I come to Chicago, it's always good to hear the fresh truth, right? Yeah? Very good. I think our kids in Austin may be scared to say some of these things. Okay, very good. I'm glad. What else? Maybe, yes? No? Take the Qurbana? Good. Is that what you said? Okay, excellent. Yes, we're coming here to meet Jesus Christ. That's what we're supposed to be doing as a community. But if you are a person living in the world and you hear the term church, you may think of the term scandal, right? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, good. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's good. Thank God. Unfortunately, there are a lot of bad, negative things in the press about the universal church. And again, we as Christians, we are not named in the press, but probably not because we're so much better than anyone else, but we're so small, nobody notices us, right? Unfortunately, we in the 21st century, we have become the same people Jesus is mentioning about here in Matthew chapter 23. In Matthew 23, Jesus is speaking. It's very clear who he's speaking to. Okay? I just want to share with you 2 fine points, and then I'll come to the message. Okay? Jesus is speaking to. It says here, chapter 23, verse 1. Jesus spoke to the multitudes and to his disciples. Okay? He is speaking to the world at large, and he is also speaking directly to the people following him. What is he saying? He says the scribes and the Pharisees sit in Moses' seat, right? They are the rightful heirs. to the blessing of Moses and interpreting what Moses is writing for the masses and for the people. They are the rightful people to do so. However, do whatever they tell you, right? Observe whatever they tell you, but do not do according to their works. Does that make any sense? You are supposed to listen to these people and respect them, but don't do what they do, right? Okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you not to do what Vijwachan is doing, right? I'm not going to tell you not to do what Talabhalachan is doing, right? I'm not going to tell you to do not what Tiruneni is doing, right? Okay? But basically, Jesus was telling those who have the appropriate authority should not be trusted. Why? Why, dear friends? What happened to them? They get to sit in the seat of Moses. They get all the blessings that devolved upon Moses. What happened to them, dear friends? What happened? We can be honest, just like the kids. What happened? There's no shame here. What happened? They became corrupt. Right? Some of them became corrupt. And those some who became corrupt created a bad atmosphere for all those who are trying to do good in this world, and for all those who are sincerely attempting to share the gospel message and exercise their office. And what happens to the multitudes, and what happens to the disciples, their faith becomes shrunken and weak, because they cannot trust the people who are entrusted to keep safe the faith for them. Dear beloved, dearly beloved, whatever sins that we have as clergy, whatever sins that we have as leaders, whatever sins we have as congregants, this Qurbana, it says, we are saying the Qurbana itself when we raise the element of the bread, right, that has become the body of Christ. We are saying this Qurbana is for those who are like the Lord, right? This Qurbana is for the holy and the pure. This Qurbana is for the holy and the pure. So now the kids have learned that. Okay, good, excellent. Okay? This Qurbana is for the holy and for the pure. So if we as Christians, whoever we may be, whatever office we may be exercising, if we're not living a holy and a pure life, then what may we be called? That's a technical term. That's a big word. Maybe the kids don't know, but surely the adults will know. What should we be called? Who is it that Jesus cursed the most? Satan? Okay. You're getting to the root of the problem, maybe deeper than I wanted to go. Very good. There's a term for this kind of person, dear friends. You know it and I know it. It's called hypocrisy, right? It's called being a hypocrite. And Jesus reserved his choicest, saltiest curse words for these types of people. Why? Because they damage the faith, the connection between God and man. So in that context, dear friends, Jesus, and this is my second point and final point, okay? Jesus is telling the disciples, now he's not talking to the multitudes, he's talking to his disciples. And he's saying to them, dear brothers, dear friends, dear children of mine, don't let any one of you call each other rabbi, right? Don't let any one of you call each other teacher, right? As some kind of exalted thing. Don't let any one of you call each other father. Why? Because you have one father, one teacher. You have one Christ, one Messiah, right? Now let me ask you again another question, dear friends. Does this mean that we literally cannot call people teacher? You know, there are whole churches who at least partially build the reason why they separate from the mother church based on these passages, right? There's one particular church we're all familiar with, I won't name here, right? Where their priest, they refuse to call that priest father. Do you know what I'm talking about? Maybe some of you are aware. There's one Malayali church like this, right? But they call their priest reverend. So what is the difference between reverend and father? It means the same thing in the context, right? But then when we call them in Malayalam, what do we call them? We call them Achan. What does Achan mean? Father. So these people have built a theology, built a reason for being separate. Because we call ourselves Abuna, right? Father, Abun, right? We call ourselves Father, but they don't want to be called Father. But they're okay being called Achan. Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense, right? Okay, I'm not criticizing anybody. They probably have some other reason they'll be able to explain. Okay? But the point is, we are not here to take that literally. Let me tell you a quick story. I was decorating my office. And oru rasato, right? For just some kind of vanity, right? I created a little nameplate for myself to put on my desk. And so that nameplate says, Dr. Varghese. What does the term doctor mean? Like a doctor? Yeah. What does the term doctor mean? Yeah? That's true. That's one meaning. Yes. What else? What does the word itself mean? Yes? Healer. Yeah, that's the physician. Correct. The term doctor, if you're looking at the Greek term, right? It just simply means teacher. But Jesus said here, don't call anybody teacher. You have only one teacher. Does that mean everybody who has gone to medical school or has a PhD or has a doctorate, should we stop calling them doctor? See, that's not what Jesus is saying. Is that person ready to teach? Are they being hypocritical in their office and with their title? That's what Jesus is trying to get at. This is the New King James Version I'm reading from here in this Bible, this Orthodox Study Bible. In the original King James Version, this verse right here, verse 10, it says, and do not be called teachers in New King James. In the Old King James, it says, and do not be called masters, right? Do not be called masters, for one is your master. That is Jesus Christ. That's absolutely true. That's absolute reality. But what do we call our bishops? In Syriac, what is the title we affix to them? Like we say, doctor somebody. We say what? Titus Termini, but we say more, right? More, M-O-R, right? More, Titus, Yelgo, right? That's the title we give. What does the term more mean? The Syriac term, not kani more. Not more like addition, give me more stuff. More means master. Moran, we say Moran more, Ignatius Zakka, right? Moran more, Ignatius Ephraim, right? We say that, right? Moran just means our Lord, our Master, right? So when I was making these little nameplates for my office, again, just a little vanity, I put a little desk for my 4-year-old son in my office. And so what title did I give him? What title did I give him? He needs a title to match his dad, right? So he needs a title. What did I put? I did put more. I did. But I didn't call him a bishop. That's not what I meant. I put the term master. You know, young men under 18. If you look at the titles coming from the English, you know, the term is master, right? What is the term for young women? Miss, right? Miss, or maiden woman, unmarried woman. It means exactly the same thing. What is the term for a married woman? Mistress, Mrs., right? That's right, that's correct. What does that mean? It means exactly the same thing, master. It means master. What does the term Mr. mean? Mr. is a German term. What does it mean? It is usually affixed to the male. That's right. What is it? It means master, right? So here, if you're reading King James, Jesus says, don't call anybody master, but all of you have been called master or mistress or miss or master for your entire life. Are you going to hell? That's not what Jesus is talking about, dear friends. He's talking about, are you acting like a master? Are you the master of your faith? Are you the master of love, of kindness, of the teaching of Jesus Christ? That is what He wants you to have mastery over, dear friends. He doesn't care what title you call yourself. He wants you to be a humble servant. Because what does He say here at the end? And let me conclude. He who is greatest among you shall be called Lord. Master? No, servant. Servant. What is it? Yeah, all of you called Mr. Master, Mistress. Huh? All of you who are called all these titles, doctor, teacher, whatever, father, all of you have to aim not to be lording over anybody, but serving one another. That's how we will overcome the scandals of the church. That is how we will overcome the frustrations we may feel as part of this even particular holy, wonderful congregation. Even in such a place, there will be some divisions and differences after so many years, I'm sure, right? That's only human nature. But if we are seeking in our mastery, dear friends, if we are seeking in our lordship under Christ, if we are seeking the right things we will be seeking to, dearly beloved, let me ask your attention. We will be seeking to serve one another. That way we avoid the hypocrisy of those who simply sit in a seat and keep it warm, but otherwise would not lift a finger to help their fellow human being. Dear friends, keep in mind, God helped us. We are only here for a few years. Even if it's 100 years, it's only a few years compared to eternity. And dear friends, it is not the mastery of whatever that you have that will resonate in heaven. It's how much you served. Because it is the Lord's mastery truly resonating. And we should resonate with Him. So dear friends, in that spirit, let me conclude the message.